And that's why a lot of people gives these bad reviews. I don't care what brands they are. They give them bad reviews, but they don't know how to use them, and they didn't follow the directions, or they wasn't taught how to use them, or watch somebody that knew how to use them. Well guys, FedEx just run. Whew. And this little box right here is heavy. Ups run earlier. And we've been to open this up and see. Guys, today it's been the first pretty day we've had in a while with all the rain and such. And I've been outside in the yard, been in the greenhouse, went on and started me up some of my peppers, some of my cold weather crops, kale, lettuce. I had some started. I was trying to start him a while back during the snow without putting on a heat mat. Some of it started coming up, but I planted some more of that in the greenhouse, seeded up. Cleaned up in the yard. And now we gotta see what's in this Vevor box. I think I know. I think I'm gonna have to cut the box on this one. This right here what I call electric powered drain snake to unstop your drains. I had a drain I had to do for a lady a while back, and we was needing this some kind of bad. Plus I got a drain in my outside sink is where we gonna use it first. I mean, it ain't gonna be today. That's where we gonna use it first, on this outside sink. And speaking of that, I ain't never got my fittings because I had a pipe burst during the ice and snow a few weeks ago to my faucet that's on the sink itself there. I got to get some parts for that. This little baby's heavy. Get all the parts out here and see if we can get it assembled. I don't think it's that much assembling to it. Electric Drain Cleaner. Vevor. 120 volt. It's got a 100-foot, half-inch snake on it. Looks like it's basically just putting the axle in the back wheels and the handle on it. And some kind of little box right here. I have to get the directions out. Let me open this pack. Got a waterproof switch on and off. Plugs into a 110. It's got off, forward, and reverse. And the motor runs. So that's what I need to know right now. Put it together, and then we're going to show this thing in action. So it looks like right here, like I said, this activates it. That's forward and reverse to retract. And let's see, I got it running in reverse though. I need to put it in forward. Rotating this way. I think the button on the switch is on backwards, because when it's rotating that way, saying forward right here, it's pointing toward the reverse, but I can change the switch over there. But here you can back it up and run it out. This right here is adjustment. It adjusts your tension on it. And right here where you change the ends, that's where these, I guess they sent you an extra screw. That's the spade bit. I think this one right here will do for what I'm going to be doing first. So I'm going to have that on there. Take my little Allen wrench here. It kind of swivels, but I'm going to tighten that up because you don't want that coming off inside your pipe. So I'm assuming you got an extra screw that fits that. And I ain't sure what this is for, this knob. Guys, this little knob I just found goes right up there. And remove that cover for your belt if you ever need to replace your belt or something. The belt's just running around the drum. So even though they had a nut here, I guess the knob just makes it a little prettier. That ain't something you should be fooling with unless you have to take it apart. So I'm gonna give that just a little snug. And put this knob on there just for looks. Guys, the statement I made about this knob being on backwards, it ain't on backwards. It's got a white mark right there. I was looking at how the knob's made, it's pointing that way. But the white mark is the indicator that goes toward what direction. So that's why I was a little confused on that. The way I was standing, I couldn't see that white mark. But hey, also I had to change the handle around. I had it put on turned that way instead of that way. So we got it. Next we'll be testing this baby out. Alright guys, now we're going to try this Vevor drain clog cleaner. Like I was saying earlier, I've never owned one of these and never used one of these. But I've always wanted one of these. Now I had a plumber back when I was working for my dad. He had one and he says there's an art to running these. You can't just run it up in there and just let it keep pushing, or you'll wind this up in this drum and you have to take it apart and get it unwound. Now this here is just a drain off of my sink, and it ain't totally stopped up, but it ain't draining as good as it used to. And it just comes out here on the back of my land here, and it ain't nothing but sink water, and that's why I just let it go out on the ground out here. And I'm gonna try this. Now this little Vevor here's got a vacuum, kind of like a foot switch. We're gonna put it in forward right here. It's got forward and reverse. And I'm gonna use my knee, and this here will make it go forward and back. So let's get started and see what happens. That's in reverse. Now when I'm saying forward here, that means the drum has got an arrow on it. It's rotating clockwise. Right here, forward means it shoots the snake out. So far, so good. Now this little switch here is vacuum activated. And if you ever get one in the little, I don't know what you want to call this here, but if it's squished down and it's got an air suction and it won't pop back up on you, all you got to do is unhook this little cord from underneath here, stick it on your lips and blow, and you can blow this back out. Now I do know that too. But this one's brand new, so it's working great right now. This is about an 80-foot pipe up to the bottom of the sink we're working with, and this is 100 foot, so I ought to have plenty to get to it. Alright guys, we're about to where I think I was expecting this to happen. Up there where I run over this with this tractor, I'm thinking it's got my pipe squished a little bit. That's why it's still draining, but yet, because it's done running into something. If you keep going forward here, you'll wind the snake up in your drum and get it tangled up. So what I'm gonna do is back up, go forward. Back up. Go forward. See if it's gonna make it through it. Alright, it just broke through. So maybe it was just a little clog in there and it wasn't mashed, because it went through it and then it got loose again and starting to go fast. Keeping my hand on it, I know y'all can't see that, but I can feel it. It'll start making this tight. And you don't want to keep running, because it'll just bow it up like that and make it get wound up in your drum. Since I'm doing this, I'm going to run it all the way. Ought to be about there, 'cause ain't that much snake left in there. I think that's it, guys. It's gonna be where it goes into the small pipe under the sink. Now I'm gonna go run a sink full of water, pull the plug, and let's see if it looks like it's coming out any faster. I'm thinking that's gonna do it, and then we're gonna back it out. Now that's the trick. I couldn't remember back what I was taught years ago, because I ain't never owned one of these, but I read the directions, and if I remember right from what I read, you're gonna put this in reverse, but you're gonna leave this in clockwise spinning forward back here and retract it in there. But I'm gonna get me a rag and try to keep my snake kind of cleaned off as it goes back in the drum. The reverse right here on the back is in case you spinning it, cutting into something and it gets stuck and you can't get it unstuck. You put this in reverse and work it, but you don't just turn it on and leave it. You have to turn it on, bump it, turn it on, bump it. And that's why a lot of people give these bad reviews. I don't care what brands they are. They give them bad reviews, but they don't know how to use them, and they didn't follow the directions, or they wasn't taught how to use them, or watch somebody that knew how to use them. You can't just put these in there and go to running them and never stop. Just sit here thinking it's just gonna eat its way through. That's how you get your snake all tangled up in your drum there. So let me go run a sink load of water. I'm gonna get y'all over here and watch it for me, because it might beat me back. Now y'all holler at me if y'all start seeing water come out. Well guys, I had the sink plumb overflowing with water, and when I pulled the stopper, it shot out of there like a hurricane, but it ain't coming out this end. So I bet you this end here, where that cutter is, it's up against that little pipe. So we're gonna back it up and see if anything comes out of here. We're gonna keep it in forward rotation, put it in reverse right here, and see if we can back it out and keep her snake clean and keep her drum from getting wound up. Up, up, up. Seemed like it was backing up faster than it was going forward. Said it was going faster backwards, but I don't think it is. It shouldn't be. It ought to be the same speed. Well, I'm starting to get some old nasty muck right there. Ooh, boy. Yeah, it's bringing some junk with it, guys. What I'm finna do is go run another sink full of water, let it fill up, and pull the plug before I keep winding it out, because that's some nasty stuff coming out of there now. Look at the mess coming out of there. I need to hurry up and get this out of here, because I'm finna get a, look at there, there's some of Colton's rubber bullets coming out of there too. There's another one. Now, if you'll clean all this off and don't wind that up in your drum, clean this mess out of that tip. Get this over here out of the water. And as you can see, it pulled all that old white cruddy stuff out, a couple of Colton's nurse bullets. And that was probably all up there where them pipes goes from small to this 3.5 inch pipe. So guys, that wasn't no hard task, because that's an easy straight shot. It's got a little curve in it up there, a little 45. Actually, it's got two 45s in it. But I didn't have to go around try to make no 90s or nothing. But a few weeks ago, I helped a lady. She called me, her drain was stopped up. My husband was off working. I wished I'd have had this then. I went up there with one of them 80-foot steel snakes, and it wasn't long enough, so she went and bought a 100-foot. And I probed and beat and probed and pulled back and pushed and probed. It took me a half a day to get her drain unstopped. But we got it, but this would have made the job a lot more easier. Like I said, you see bad reviews on these machines, it's because people don't know how to use them. You just can't put them in there and just go to running and think it's gonna force its way through it and make it wind up in your drum and get all tangled up. But this here's the Vevor. I'll leave a link in the description below this video if you want to go check them out. I got a lot of Vevor products, and for the price they are, I think you got some pretty good products. But I got this done today, so let's carry on. I'm not no plumber, but today I have went this morning to my niece-in-law's house, changed the element in her hot water heater. I went to my wife's shop, cause her commode seals was leaking. When you flushed it up under there, had to replace the wax seal on the commode. And now I unstopped the drain, so today's been a plumbing day for me.